Hey guys, Dan MacArthur here with Vibe Realty. Today I want to talk to you about the new stress test that's coming out in January. There's been a lot of talk about this, a lot of speculation on what it's going to do to the market, and a lot of people sort of discussing what would be the best course of action. You know, whether you should run into a housing situation right now, lock yourself into a mortgage before these stress tests really come into fruition, or sit on your hands and wait and see what happens with the market. So first off, I kind of want to break down what the stress test is. So a lot of what this is coming from is the actual monthly payment that you're up against and how that's being derived. So for the sake of just being complete in our analysis, I want to just break down how they calculate your monthly payment. So this is based on a mortgage of $345,000 with an interest rate of 0.0339%. I've found that on Rate Hub. So this is what TD is offering right now for a 5-year fixed mortgage in Abbotsford, BC. So I just plugged those numbers in today. So 3.339%. We're going to have payments there would be 300 payments. This is looking at a 25-year amortization period. So simply 12 payments a year times 25 equals 300, giving us a monthly rate of this 0.002825. Our present value again at 345, giving us a payment once we plug it into this formula of 1706. So this is the simple formula, an annuity formula that they're using when they calculate your mortgage payment. So popping over to my broader mortgage analysis here, I just kind of want to again reiterate that this reconciles, and I'm just using the simple payment formula here that Excel provides in their software. So this is how this would be laid out right now. So this interest rate, or sorry, this purchase price of 445. We're coming in with $100,000 down to exceed that 22% or 20% down requirement. So we're not paying any CMHC or anything like that in this situation. We have a principal now of $345,000, and again, all these factors are laid out for us. We're pretending property tax is $1,500 and strata is $257, giving us a total monthly payment of just over $2,000. So as it sits right now, this is what you would be paying every month coming out, and this is what would be going towards the mortgage directly. And then you can see through this whole description here how much equity and how much interest you're paying over time. So in payment 209, you've paid down $1,300 in principal, and interest is going $390 is going to interest. Obviously, you'd have to refinance if this was on a 5-year term, but this is just breaking this down for you. So now getting into looking at the qualifying income estimation, this is what a lot of what is getting a lot of attention in the media right now. So they've now decided that the stress test is going to be 2% above the interest rate that you're actually getting. So for sake of analysis here, let's just move this back to 3.39%. So these are now both the same. And this is, by the way, how it was being done before. If you're coming in with over 20% down, they weren't testing you at a higher rate. They were just testing you at the rate that you're getting to see if you could handle the payments. At 20% down, they figured you'd had enough skin in the game that you wouldn't necessarily be walking away from a mortgage if there was some sort of market correction down the road. So previously, you would only need to be making $75,000 a year by yourself, or just $37,000 or just over $37,000 a year between the two of you. So how they're figuring this out is based on the gross debt service ratio. The gross debt service ratio basically just states that the bank doesn't want to see any more than a third of your income going towards your mortgage payment. So in this case, it works out to 0.33. I'm just using 1/3 as my driver here. Some will be a little bit lower, some will be a little bit more. It sort of ranges between 0.29 and 0.34. And this isn't the only ratio they're using. They're also using the total debt service ratio. So if you do have car payments or lines of credit or other forms of debt, they're also going to look at that when figuring out whether or not you can qualify for a mortgage. So basically all they're doing to figure out how much money you need to make monthly is dividing this monthly payment that we derived over here and here by this 0.33, giving you a monthly required income of just over $6,000. So now what they're proposing to do is, instead of testing you at this 3.39%, they're going to jack it up to 5.39%. So if we look here, just by I guess a couple of keystrokes here, the annual income required monthly jumps to into the mid 7,000s, which means household or individual to qualify for the same property, the same $445,000, the same $345,000 principal payment, that has just jumped to just shy of $90,000 for the year, or $44,000 per person. So if they're doing this holistically, obviously this is going to have some effects on the market. I just want to break this down with some very basic supply and demand analysis. So if we look at this situation before, pretending that these two curves represent supply and demand for the townhome or condo market in the Fraser Valley, we're finding an equilibrium price of $445,000, again under this scenario that I kind of dreamed up. If we see access to mortgage funds inhibited effectively, because you need to have a higher annual income to qualify for these mortgage funds, we should see a slight downturn in demand for the same property at the same price, which should yield ultimately a lower equilibrium price or market value for the same property come January. Looking a little further in the long run and looking at the increase in quantity, we could see, all things being equal, even a further shift down in terms of price, simply because there's a lot of new development happening responding to this demand. If everything remains the same, you'll see even a further shift down down as more quantity comes on. Having said this, there's been huge increases in population in the Lower Mainland. Last year we saw an increase of 5.5%, which is pretty remarkable, and obviously puts a big stress on housing. So as more people come, this could shift demand back up just as easily. So long run, it's really hard to say what's going to happen. I'm sorry, I don't have all the answers.